Joe.
Yeah.
How are you today?
Pretty good. How
Tonight,
are you?
Jacob the
Yeah,
Weekly
tonight.
Live, March 12th, 2021. Again, we've kind of been doing the podcast live for a long time for the sake of um, getting it out as soon as it's done and not having to edit tons of things. But, Joe, I know it's a good hair day when I get misgendered from the back. Girl, I was in the McDonald's drive-through in one of them on Zumbel or something, and I was turned away from the window, and the young lady opened the thing and said, "Ma'am, was that 2 Diet Cokes?" And I turned around. So let me just say a little bit for you. So I turned around. Who? Who? Me? Not little old me.
What did she say?
She said, "Oh, I'm sorry." I said, "No. I mean, my hair looks pretty from the back. I mean, when it's down and it's washed. I mean, when it's up, I look like I'm wearing a powdered wig, and I got like werewolf neck and shit. But when it's fresh and I'm from the back, girl, you could be looking at a big old lady."
I bet you made her day with your response.
It's happened to me before at Cece's Pizza. I was sitting facing a young lady, and a young lady with a cart came up behind us to see if we needed to get rid of any of our dishes, and she said, "Are you ladies done with this?" "Oh, sir, I'm sorry. Your hair is very pretty." So, you know, um, really great stuff. Things are good, and we're loving it. We're in this songwriting challenge. I don't think I played it at the top of this show, but the other day you heard that Enya thing we're working on. I don't know if there's a background on that, but we're trying our hand in all sorts of things right now. We're diversifying. I'm compiling content that we could launch on our next endeavor. We'll always have the free access podcast, this one probably, but we want to connect some of our more crafted work directly to the couple dozen of you that keep us going. So, we're looking down the pipe. Keep an eye out on that. Joe, I'm thinking about publishing a book.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we need to work on that idea off mic. And hoodies are still happening. The $70,000 hoodie is as alive as ever. And we're talking about doing a sort of our take on a reality show for Patreon. And I'm still working on the logistics of how to make that work. But it's something I think about often. And when I say reality show, I mean I want to start some shit.
I'm writing this down. It feels like our team meeting
Yeah, we're meeting here. We're meeting here with our audience.
and the live
And
show.
we're trying late night. We typically do this at like 7 p.m. and live watchership is okay. Watchership, is that a word? It's fun to say. And, but, maybe a little late night. This is really the best time for me to fit it. It's been a crazy week at work. I was telling Joe they're, shrinking the size of my campus for next year. So there's just a whole lot of stuff up in the air and a lot of transitions that have to happen. And, people are just, living on a prayer out here in the crazy world. I'm using a different camera, and oh, that's not bad there.
You look great on Facebook. I saw.
Good. Yeah, I'm not insecure about the definition as much as the angle, and just this. I wish this mic was just here. Maybe I need to flip it the other way. I don't know. It's not a big deal. We can't talk about it because my mom will get mad. But moving forward, we're really not looking at diving too deep into ads. I'm like way off Facebook, not Facebook, YouTube as a consumer. And I'm not going to try to fill our content with ads, Joe, except for maybe Lion's Choice or Peloton or Sleep Number or Postmates. Those are things I use every day.
Begging Lion's Choice, please.
Please,
reach out.
If I go out there and there's just a red duffel bag full of money, I'll know. And I'll know to spread the word of the choice of the lion. I had a Lion's Choice the other day. I've been doing the 2 large beef and Swiss, which is like the steak hoagie thing. They call it a steak bun.
Steak bun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was doing the king for a long time, which I still love. It's like a fistful of meat, though. I mean, the large is a nice departure with the bread. Send the check. New stimmy, baby girl. Joe, are you getting a stimulus check?
No, I'm dependent on my parents.
Oh my, you got to cut the cord there, brother, because me and the missus, honey, we're going to get some of that money back that we already injected into the economy. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, what are you gonna do with your stimulus check? I don't know. I probably already spent it.
You're the ideal person they give the stimulus check to because you give it right back.
I already gave it.
Yeah, they need people to spend it.
I've been spending. I got made fun of today by an old lady for my sleep number bed. She just thought it was too extravagant. And then I was in a happy hour call with a couple of other grown adults who apparently sleep on full size beds.
Both of them individually?
Well, like no, that's what I said. The one guy was saying that he sleeps on a full size bed, like below a queen, like a jack size bed, and then I said, what? And then, like, what kind of bed does your wife have? He said, we sleep on the same bed. I said, what? Two of y'all in a jack-size bed? So but apparently it's because of the antique bed frame, and they just love it as a piece of furniture. And I'm like, ugh. I might antique that motherfucker in half, get me a queen between them.
Yes.
What are you typing? Did you see Matthew McConaughey wants to be governor of Texas? Why don't you do me a favor, Joe? Can you come over here and shoot me in the fucking head? What the fuck? Like, seriously, when they shot Harambe, I didn't know it was going to get this bad. I mean, look at this. I mean, Matthew McConaughey as governor of Texas. Let's talk about some other governors of Texas. George W. Bush was governor of Texas. Who's governor of Texas right now? Texas governor.
Governor. Greg Abbott, Republican Party. We should have both known that.
Why? I don't live in Texas.
Greg Abbott. I don't know.
This is insulting. I mean, seriously, what universe? Who could predict? I'm taking all the money I have in Acorns and Robinhood, and I'm going to score residents in Texas so I can participate in that election cycle. Because that's going to be Liddy committee, sister. I mean, you can take that to the bank.
Having Matthew McConaughey as the governor of Texas kind of feels like having
president, because last time I knew who the governor of Texas was, he ended up being the motherfucking president.
Right. It kind of feels like having Elmer Fudd be the head of the NRA.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. It's like you're on the PTO with fucking Aquaman.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Like, I was bringing cupcakes to Lucy's class, and fucking Aquaman was there.
Dude, that's actually what's going to happen, though, is that these celebrity characters will eventually begin to manifest. You know, like, we'll actually have the Avengers, like, running for Senate. Like, they won't just be running as actors, they'll be running as themselves, because that's how childish millennials are, you know?
Oh, yeah, Robert Downey Jr.? I mean... Yeah. He'll do whatever he wants. He'll do some stuff. He'll do something crazy. Tom Cruise is working on a movie in space. He'll be in the sequel.
Oh, I figured out why everybody wants to get to space. It's not just to leave the planet. Did you know that?
Oh, my thought was they want to leave the planet with all of the positive resources and leave us with all the hot air and the poisoned water.
Well, what I actually didn't realize was that, and we talked about it in physics, is that so the asteroids or the comets, the asteroids and the meteorites, they actually have like so much precious metals, so many precious metals, and like so much of them, and their precious metals right now are worth more than like oil, and that's what China mostly produces. And so whoever can figure out how to harvest precious metals from like space,
but wouldn't it totally fuck up our economy?
Yeah, in fact, it's to the point where they'll probably create their own nation. Like Amazon will create its own nation, the Amazon.
It wouldn't be in the Amazon.
No, but it would be the new Amazon.
It's not good for warehouses down there.
It'll be just the beginning of a new Blade Runner episode.
Installment in the Blade Runner saga. Joe, I had you link this. We've all probably talked about this too much by now, but that rapey French skunk from Looney Tunes got canceled. Here's the thing. Now, I'm not going to talk to you about whatever you think rapey French Euro culture is that you wrote here, but I loved Pepe Le Pew growing up, and I understood it as an antiquated cartoon. I don't think anybody I know emulated that behavior. I totally understand why it's problematic.
Yeah.
But was he still working? Like, was he still in shit? That's my thing.
Yeah, right. Was he still...
we're going to cancel a cartoon that's not been making money for 30 years? Like is he on?
You know, what's really funny about that character is that when I like judged myself for doing something rather like if I was flirting with somebody and I felt rather
Gross.
like gross
Grammarly
about
can
it and I
help you
felt like,
write
you know, that was
quickly
too
and
much.
confident.
I always did actually go back to that character to justify. I'm like, well, if you really think about it, I was just being schmaltzy, I was just like,
Schmaltzy.
yeah. And
Well,
so I
so
get
you're
why they
talking
canceled
about
him.
like being flirty in a suggestive romantic way as like just a joke,
Yeah, but kind of, like, yeah,
like for fun.
yeah.
Yeah. And are you saying somebody yelled at you for doing that?
No, but
But
occasionally I
you're
wonder to
you're
myself.
being more careful about that behavior because of in light of Pepe Le Pew not having a job anymore.
Yes, but no,
That's
no. I mean, I'm not engaging that behavior.
right, but I'm saying, but that's what you're saying is maybe you're being a little more self-critical because you want to make
Yes.
sure you're not just coming up on cats and kissing on them and just
Yeah, that's
hugging
right.
them real hard and just kissing them real good over and over again.
And then just being like, oh, he's just old fashioned.
Oh, he's French.
He's
I'd be
French.
offended if I was French.
Yeah.
Joe, did you see the statement from the official office of Donald J. Trump?
Yeah, you sent
Brother,
it to me. That was
brother.
weird. Yeah. It felt like getting
The
an
headline
email.
is that he hopes everyone remembers him when we get our coronavirus vaccines, but I'm looking for the actual screenshot.
It's kind of that passive aggressive thing your like ex boss who never said anything right sends to you.
It's like
Like-
after someone gets fired, them emailing saying, I hope you know that the only reason you guys have that couch in the break room is because that was my couch.
No, it can't be because of that because that's too harsh. I feel like it's kind of like somebody who's kind of been excommunicated from the family, but it isn't official, and they send you something kind of passive aggressive, but it's not really. They just don't know how to talk right. I have a lot of family members.
Joe,
like that.
I need that statement. I don't have it in front of me. And I
Oh,
need it
you
in
want
front
the
of me.
you want the statement? Okay,
I'm looking for it while you're talking. It should be the other way around.
right. That's funny.
Oh, but I'm still looking for it. I mean, he wants credit for the vaccine. I'm seeing all this, but where's the original? How come they're not linking the statement? Do I have to read this article? Is that what they're telling me?
No, let's just go to the thing you sent
Statement. There it is.
me. Oh, you found it?
God, why? It's the internet. You
Yeah.
think they'd make it? Why is it on Twitter? You're
Twitter.
gonna link it through your Twitter to Joe Khalil. I hope everyone remembers when they're getting the COVID-19, often referred to as the China virus vaccine, that if I wasn't president, you wouldn't be getting that beautiful shot for 5 years at best, and probably wouldn't get it at all. I hope everyone remembers. This is from the office of Donald J. Trump.
Oh my God.
Statement by Donald J. Trump, 45th President of the United States of America, though no longer.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So, God is good. We shall rejoice and be glad in it. He has bestowed upon us this blessing, and we should not take it for granted that when you can't tweet, just make up your own office and put out memos that are, I don't know, conveniently the size of a tweet. So that's
Yeah.
good. Hey, listen, I had forgotten about calling it the China virus. I'm glad he reminded me that he does that.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see they're putting an island of condos in Lake of the Ozarks?
Yeah, I saw that.
That is the
That's
dumbest
crazy.
one. That water is not Lake of the Ozark water. I don't know where they got all that nice blue water for the illustration.
Yeah.
It makes me want to watch that show because I'm thinking, what if we put condos that each cost $350,000 in the middle of fucking meth town?
What you're not acknowledging is that they have to live on an island. How do they get? So are they gonna get on
No,
their
there's a
boats? Oh, darn it!
Did you not look at the illustration?
No, I didn't see the illustration.
You just saw the headline. You didn't see the illustration. Do you think I?
I
read
actually
the
no.
whole
I
headline?
saw the illustration. I
You
just
didn't see the bridge. It was petite.
Okay.
Good point.
It's good for them.
I
We need
can't
to
wait to
work
see
it
what
into
happens. I can't wait for it to get fucking abandoned and be like a bunch of nice ass condos with a bunch of people getting
Exactly.
stabbed. You know what
It's
I
just
mean?
it's just gonna become a Margaritaville golf course.
Oh,
Of course it is.
At best.
I'm calling it.
That's at best.
Yeah,
Joe,
right.
tell me about Rochester, New York.
Oh yeah, I had an experience of going to Rochester, New York when I was in high school.
So you feel like as a community, it's really effective. You were telling me this, and I wanted you to tell me about this on the show. You started to tell me, and I said, stop. Let's talk about it on air because it's just you and me this week.
Well, it's kind of in light of all of the craziness you endure working in the St. Louis school system. But just like we took a trip to Rochester, me and a team, to do a race, a summit on race. It was kind of right during the Ferguson stuff, and I was kind of part of a panel talking about, inner city schools and kind of just the experience of, whatever. And so but we went there, and the kind of the dean of the district, took us around and showed us. I mean, that city really has it figured out. I mean, they were busing kids from the inner city or people that kind of have a more difficult home life out, and they had these parents came to the forefront to house these kids during the week when they couldn't get home in the evening, and they provided the kids with computers and all this stuff. And the public school is so big that it houses all the kids really comfortably, but also it has an immense amount of trade opportunities. So they teach them how to get they teach them how to work on cars. They have a 12 car garage or something.
Trade education, not trade as in market exchange.
No. But they all the parents get all their cars worked on by these kids at the school.
That's what you were telling me.
Yeah, and they just.
So you were saying the community that you experience is built kind of around the school in a way that's really holistic and supportive.
Exactly. Yeah, and it was, and they didn't really. It felt like they weren't battling private schools. They weren't battling other schools. It was kind of just this group of public schools, and they just really, it just worked. They figured it out, and it blew me away because I thought it living in St. Louis and being a kid, I was only 17. I actually didn't think that it ever worked anywhere. I thought that's just the way the world was just there are people that are underserved, and there are people who are, privileged. And I went out there and some places, and of course when I went to Germany, I saw, that to a huge extent. But I mean, I just couldn't believe that they had it figured out so well. And so many people were so willing to come and help, So shout out to them. Irondequoit High School in Rochester, New York.
Mm-hmm. Great.
Sorry. I mean,
that's beautiful. I love that.
It's just kind of in light of what we deal with here and just the craziness that's going on. I know it's hard to transition because you can't really talk about your work life, but.
Well, I just don't want to.
Yeah.
It's not that I can't.
Really, I tagged one of my former teachers on here. I really I would love for him to see this and get on here eventually.
You tagged him?
In the Facebook post.
Good. Okay, so we can cross that off the list. I don't know. That just reminded me because we were talking, I feel like a lot of depression and anxiety that I experience amongst my friends and myself even that comes from this unhealthy and unnatural kind of structure of our workforce that you and me always talk about. One of these days this mic stand is going to work. It's going to be right.
Yeah.
So, I know this is something you and I talk about a lot. We're shoved into this highly competitive and disproportionately overwhelming experience with no real emotional equipment. We get mad at people who even express that they can't handle it. We were talking about this the other day. People that like their jobs, we get mad at them.
Exactly.
And people that say, hey, I'm a little stressed out. There's kind of too much going on. They say, well, tough. Everyone's like that. This is what life is like. You said that to me earlier, and I almost threw the phone.
No, I didn't say. I said this is life though. It's going really good compared to what and you're doing really great. I was just really happy for you that your life is taking the changes, that it's taking the roads that it's taking.
Jesus,
I can't make a sentence.
Everything
I say.
I mean, what
everything I say has a complete a grammatical atrocity in it.
It's not your fault. I think you were failed by the same school system that I work for.
Yeah.
I feel like one-hit wonders are the purest form of art. You know what a one-hit wonder is?
What is it?
Some a artist or whatever of any kind will just have one thing that's really successful and then they'll never do anything else.
Oh yeah.
Like, do you need an example?
I was thinking the grill. What is that? The George Foreman grill. But I think George Foreman actually had
No,
a
see,
long career.
that's a bad example because he had a career before that.
All right. Okay. O.J. Simpson.
See, he had a football career and then murdered several people.
Yeah, you can kind of pick and choose with that. What his one-hit wonder was.
Yeah, I mean, and then he had like a rap video he did when he was living in Florida for a little bit. I mean, it was he's been around. He wrote a book about how he killed his wife, but it was hypothetical. Let's think. But so we're so used to things getting sequel to death, but I think some things just grace us with their mist, and they're just so good. Like, you ever see the Blair Witch Project?
Yeah, you think about that movie a lot.
I love that movie. Well, because that was
It's
like the
weird.
first like found footage like thriller movie we had, and
Yeah, I guess it was.
and again, when I was a little kid, now it's a whole cinematic universe, right? But when I was a little kid, it was like the first movie kind of like that, and there was still the like
Curiosity,
the
the wonder.
mystique of that it was real or whatever,
Right.
because you know what I mean? Because it wasn't, that was the whole gimmick, was the shtick really, and so like imagine if they had just done that one thing and never addressed it, never talked about it, and just dropped it and just ghosted, right? Like it would have been perfect. Like think about like "Goodbye Horses" by Q Lazarus. Do you know that song?
Yeah.
So it's like its own little culty hit or whatever, but it's totally immortalized in this absolute wrecking ball of a film. And then that lady just vanishes. Like she's like a bus driver now or some shit, and that's totally okay. Solitary lightning bolt of creativity that strikes only once but leaves that big of a mark. Anyway, we listen to that song here in this house all the time. That movie
I didn't know
won
the
all
song.
the Oscars the year I was born.
What?
Silence of the Lambs.
Oh yeah, yeah. That was in that movie.
That's why it's so famous.
Oh.
I would think. Well, that's hard to know. It's hard to know
Yeah.
if we'd be listening to that song if it wasn't in that scene in that movie. Jeff Buckley, you make me think about him a lot.
Yeah. It's kind of a weird.
Absolute smash record with Grace, and then literally drowned night swimming, sober apparently.
That's
Like
weird.
that's beautiful. Like that's the precious art that really drives our culture forward. It's not always the people. It's not always like the titans, like O.J. Simpson, like you mentioned. You freak. Some titans price themselves out of accessibility, like Billy Joel or Garth Brooks. Madonna used to poison the water on LimeWire. Did you ever? LimeWire was before you.
Of course, I know LimeWire.
I was just talking about this with our friends in Ground Control, this hot local band that's going to be on the show really soon. Madonna used to release versions of her songs where like would start off as the song and then it would cut to an overdub of her yelling at people for stealing her music, like real Metallica
So
shit.
awesome.
It would go like a virgin. It'd be like, "This is Madonna. Why are you stealing Madonna?"
You know what they should do? They need to like people who repost other people's OnlyFans on Pornhub. They should just flood Pornhub with videos of their OnlyFans, and it's just you see the first photo, so you don't know what it is, and then they just scold you.
Is
You
that a
know?
big? I'm not really into the pornography. Like
I don't know anything about it either. I just was saying.
you know that there's a problem of people stealing OnlyFans content to put on the hub.
Of course, yeah.
I haven't
I
heard
mean, that's
that.
what. Yeah, yeah. It's
So
a
I'm
big
saying it's a
problem.
step forward in your algorithm. You know what? I've never really messed with OnlyFans. Maybe we need one.
I would. No, I wouldn't.
You're going to be shooting all the content, so you better
Yeah,
lube
right.
up, Junior.
Ah.
I mean, I don't know what the people want. I mean, it could be tasteful. I don't know what they want. It doesn't have to be savage.
Well, they're advertising OnlyFans now like it's a place to learn guitar or something. Like they're
I'm not
like,
doing
you know,
that. I'll tell you that.
they're like learn how to DJ, and everybody and all the comments are just like really
On
like,
OnlyFans?
Yeah, OnlyFans. Well, that's originally what OnlyFans was. It wasn't supposed to be that platform, but it became that. It was like Patreon, but for videos, more videos.
But you can do videos on Patreon. Is there
Yeah.
porn on Patreon?
I don't know, probably.
We got to look into all of this because I thought we were going to have to do an OnlyFans and a Patreon, but if we could just consolidate them.
Is there porn on Patreon?
Careful, maybe use an incognito tab.
Nah.
I'm going in raw.
Yeah. Patreon CEO responds to criticism from adult. Yeah, so there is. Well, okay, so it had a crackdown, but they do have porn
I can't be stifled like this. I'll mail everybody a thumb drive. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'll put an SD card in your mom's mailbox.
Yeah.
Not your mom. I meant somebody, the audience's mother.
Yeah.
The proverbial. That made it sound
You
like I was
wouldn't know
going to
what
give
it
your
is.
mom an SD card with naked pictures of me on it, and that was not my intention to make it sound like that. That's not what I wanted to convey.
She would only understand if it was on like a Zune or something.
Emily Bronte. You know Emily Bronte? No, you've only ever read Song of Solomon.
Yeah.
Emily Bronte, another example.
Emily Bronte.
Bronte.
Only
Great
novel.
example of a one-hit wonder. She wrote my favorite book, Wuthering Heights, largely in secret. It's a very complex story with this brooding romance that spans these characters' like entire lives. And she wrote the whole thing like in secret. It's the only book she ever wrote. She worked on it for years and never really told anybody else. I think her sister was also a successful writer, or she ended up having penned some things. Those would be some of those people. It's been a long time since college. But I know her sister wrote a couple things that were great, and then, but yeah, Emily wrote that totally in secret or whatever.
J.D. Salinger.
Not related.
Catcher in the Rye, one-hit wonder.
Was that his only book, though, for real?
Only book. He did stories in magazines. I watched that.
My other favorite book is called A Confederacy of Dunces, and it is by a guy, John Kennedy Toole, or O'Toole. And he killed himself before it was published, and his mom made him publish it. She found a publisher for it. And it's really, really, really good. It's a really beautiful book. It's a really great depiction of New Orleans. It's really entertaining, but yeah, really sad. One-hit wonder, and kind of, that's a different category. I think at least a one-hit wonder, you get to enjoy your hit before you're dead, I think, typically. Is how I like those.
I feel like books are one of the things that
God,
really
I wrote
hard.
this in here. And because I thought this happened to me today, I have kind of been sharding at work sometimes.
I've been getting the calls.
I don't want to say it happens a lot, but it's happened more than once. It's happened enough times that today I thought I was driving and I coughed, and I thought when I coughed that I totally shit my pants a little bit. But it turns out that was a false alarm. Must have just been a hot pocket. And but here's the thing, I was totally prepared, even if I had sharded today, because I've been carrying wet wipes and fresh boxer briefs in my backpack in case I shard at work. It's happened, I guess, twice.
Can I do can I do you calling me about sharding?
I don't remember this, but yeah.
Joe, I did it again. Yeah, it was you.
I did it
again.
Oh. So last week we had a really great, speaking of sharding, we had a really great shoot with the Defeated County, and they're going to be back here soon on the podcast to perform for us live. We're going to leave today with a clip from their time with us here last week, I think. I have to figure out how to do that before that really takes full effect. But I also was out this evening shooting some more material for our musical guest segments of the show, so that is something that we're growing. Again, local bands like Crystal Lady and Ground Control, and of course the Defeated County will be back. Caroline and Buddy will be in as soon as we can all get our schedules on the same page. We're going to pre-record some of these. Some of these will be live, but musical guests are definitely still a part of the show that are emerging. I feel like we've been talking about it for a lot longer than the content has been ready, and that's my fault probably. Joe, I feel like we got to get through some of this stuff. I was driving the other day, and I saw this fence like around a cemetery, and I was sitting there, and it had barbed wire, but facing like inward, like they were going to keep the dead people in there. And I'm like, that's really weird. That's a weird move. I totally get keeping people out so they don't mess with stuff. And there was a place in the fence where you could feasibly jump over because of some previous damage, like a tree had fallen and they took the tree away. And it showed me that history creates opportunities. We document trauma and we celebrate milestones, but we don't intrinsically look for opportunities in those things. You reminded me of that today, saying that my career is gonna go off on a new act. It's gonna go off onto a new tangent, a new leg of the thing. You know what I mean? Lots of transitions happening in all kinds of industries locally since the coronavirus. and so I think you're right. I think we need to look to celebrate those opportunities. Have we ever talked about my friend Wendell or Petra, the hookah lounge I used to always hang out at?
Which one is that?
It was on. It's called like the Tree or something now, but it was on like
Delmar?
Junietta. It was on like Junietta at South Grand. And when we were like 18, 19, we hung out there all the time because we couldn't go to bars because we weren't 21 yet. So we went to this hookah bar and we hang out there forever. And we started hanging out with this guy named Wendell, who was older than us, black dude, easily 30s for sure. In my head, he looks just like Morgan from The Walking Dead, but he must look slightly different because he wasn't the same person.
Oh my God, I know this guy.
And we knew Wendell as like an artist. He was like a painter. He was a very gifted visual artist, and he would talk to us about that kind of stuff. And he always hung out at this hookah bar. And then we didn't see him anymore for a while. And it turns out it's because he was a violent cocaine addict and had like threatened everybody that worked there or something while we weren't there. And so I didn't see him for like a really long time. And then one time I was in like Clayton, like standing in this crosswalk in front of the bread company. No, not Clayton. What's that called? The Central West End. And I was standing in front of the Panera or St. Louis Bread Co. there. Excuse you. And this guy comes walking up to me and he's laughing. And I'm like, oh, Christ. Like, because me and my mom attract these kind of people. These,
Right.
like flamboyant criminal types. And he comes up to me and he texts me. He's like, man, you remind me of a friend of mine. I'm like, holy shit. It's Wendell, the violent cocaine addict we thought he was so cool, and then we never saw him again. And he had just gotten out of the hospital. He was even wearing his little bracelet still, and he was telling me all about why he was in there. And I really don't think he knew that I was me, but he thought I looked like me. And it kind of reminded me repeatedly of, oh, this is going to happen again, right? Like, and how many times has that happened? Like, how many times have you met somebody that you worked with and you're like, oh, that's a normal dude, and then it turns out they're
nope.
Actually, oftentimes it's literally they turn out to be a violent cocaine addict. That's kind of crazy how often that happens, and that they start off as, oh, that's like I worked with this guy at Bread Co. Coincidentally in 2008. I worked for the original St. Louis Bread Co. store, and there was a guy there that was like, yeah, man, he was a really nice, like older than me, white guy, glasses, kind of smaller, like not too descriptive, no visible tattoos or anything, and he was the same way. He was like, so what are you into? And I'm like, well, I play music and I'm in school and I talk like this apparently. He's like, yeah, I'm just trying to stay out of trouble. I'm like, what? He said, yeah, I'm just trying to get hours. I got like 3 jobs. I'm just trying to stay out of trouble. Turns out this guy was also, at least formerly, a violent cocaine addict and couldn't be trusted to close at the bread company because I guess they thought he was going to steal all the stale bagels that they give to the priest at the end of the evening. And that place ended up closing because of a lot of behavior like that. But I don't even know what we're supposed to learn from that. I don't know what opportunities I'm supposed to glean from the violent cocaine addicts that sneak into my environment. And I don't know if it's pure cocaine. That's dangerous. I don't know if it's crack. some of my friends and I have a saying. We say, nothing matters. None of it matters. Because that nihilism is liberating.
That's your.
Isn't
what are you
it?
like, Timon and Pumbaa?
It's my Timon and Pumbaa have
Nothing else matters.
it means no worries. Akuna Matata. That's what you're saying. That's my Akuna Matata, is what you're trying to say?
That's the kind of people Kirkwood High School breeds.
People that remember shit from Disney movies? You jackwagon, get out of here. But isn't it easier if there's no sentient monarchical god watching my every move? Shouldn't I thank him for that? I mean, we say this all the time, Joe. We hate being micromanaged.
Thank the God that doesn't exist for you.
Thank you, God, for not scrutinizing my constant failures, threatening me with eternal damnation for things that could have been solved with parenting.
Right.
I mean, my God, I was just talking about this earlier, like with some friends of mine. Like, it's no secret, you know. We're 45 minutes in. I'm probably exiting my whole industry entirely. I'm probably going to go pursue radically different work than I've done for 10 years, and that's totally fine because people do that. It's really healthy. It's a really healthy place. COVID changed a lot of things. I haven't drank alcohol in almost a year. That's a big deal for me. And it's allowed me to make decisions and growth in areas I wasn't prepared to. And it would be way too much pressure if all of that was up to some grand design. It's hard enough to be me. You got to remember when it feels like this career situation is the end of the world, that we're really just particles on a particle, orbiting a particle. And did you know that our solar system is part of an orbiting, like a fucking helix of shit flying through space? Did you ever see that GIF of the planet and it's moving? What?
Right.
So, and I mean, that's all if you believe in space. We do have people that listen to this show who believe that space is fake. Walt Disney and Werner von Braun came up with space in the 40s. You can Google all that. That's not what this show is about.
Think about it. It doesn't make any sense.
But the richest people in the world are trying right now, dumping all of their resources and trying to get the rest of their resources off of this fucking planet with the rest of us. And they're having a hard time. Elon just crashed a thing the other day. Did one of Elon's things go boop?
Yeah.
I mean, and you would think he'd be the guy. So him and the Kardashians are going to be a little bit older before they get up to space to get away from us. It's going to happen, but thank God it doesn't matter.
You know, the idea of space has always been more proof that there's a creator, in my opinion, because if you think about when you design a video game, have you ever like left like a video game that is an open world and you've left the main, terrain and you just end up in this kind of like nothingness abstract, like it's like a white, with like grid lines, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's basically what space is. And like, that feels like God was kind of designing this video game and he just kind of focused on this one spot and then was just like, well, and then there's kind of all this other space. I have to give him a few million light years so they can't ever get out of that, But this is what it all took. I needed this much space to create this thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, and they're saying that, space being vacuumous is because we're not going to talk about this. I'm not a physicist.
Right.
But I think that's all out of my grand focus of control. And I find that to be super liberating. Can you imagine if I actually had to make choices that affected all that stuff? I couldn't handle that kind of pressure.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know if you're good late. But that doesn't mean stuff isn't real. Just because it doesn't matter doesn't mean it's not real. Do you understand the difference?
No.
Because it's all real. It just really doesn't matter.
Right. Well, that's kind of a thought process that stoners have always had that I've never understood. Because, like, when I'm sitting in my car, like, just feeding on, like, chicken sandwiches, like there's nothing comforting about thinking, like, if I just disappeared, it wouldn't even matter. I'm just I'm like among all these other people in this ant colony, People are important.
People are important. That's what I'm trying to say. But the grand system, I mean, the farther you zoom out, the less it matters. And I just think that that's a good exercise to do if you're really worrying about it a lot. If you're really losing sleep over XYZ at your job, remember that somebody not that far away from you doesn't even fucking know that job exists.
It's also true.
I've never been. Your job could be totally fake. I see you FaceTime me in front of a TV with some taps sometimes. That could be in your fucking basement.
Right.
For all I know. And so if you were to get all upset about your job pouring Coors Light and selling onion rings, you know, I've never even been there. And I am very important. I am a big deal. If I have not eaten at a place, has anyone really, how do I know that there's even food there?
Yeah, you're not missing much. It's basically the same thing.
I'm not coming out there.
Eventually you will.
If they open one at Eichelberger in Hampton, I'll try it. Maybe carry out.
It can't handle your clientele.
No, they better have cream frige.
Yeah, no.
There's no cream frige?
No, you would be unimpressed with the menu. You go to some pretty amazing restaurants with very special items.
Oh yeah. What are you thinking?
The King Swiss.
Oh,
I'm just kidding.
Swiss,
I'm just kidding. No, I've just never seen somebody throw back oysters like you have. Like just without because usually oysters are usually like this specialty delicacy for people in the Midwest. Like
oysters?
Who?
Oh, at Juniper maybe?
Yeah, we had them at Juniper, and like if you have an oyster in the Midwest, it's kind of like, wow, you're gonna eat that minnow, you know? It's like for fun, you know. But you're just sitting there like throwing back oysters like you were born to do it, like you were raised in New Orleans. I was so impressed.
Well, that's nice of you.
And then your brother-in-law was talking about how fishy his was because it was dead. He had a dead one because technically they're alive.
Right, that's an unfortunate thing that happened.
Mm-hmm.
Joe, were you with us for the performance the other day with the defeated county?
Some of it. I had to leave, and I tipped over bunch of mics.
You helped us set that up, but you couldn't necessarily stay for the
show. I had an exam.
That's right. So we had one little sound snafu, just where they got warmed up and it got a little loud. But actually it ended up being really, really great. It was a really great performance.
Yeah, they had some really interesting songs from what I was hearing when they were warming up.
Sure.
Cool lyrics.
Cool lyrics.
They had really cool lyrics, yeah.
So that's the defeated county. Those are good friends of mine, Langan and Irene, and they have another partner that's as soon as she's feeling up to it, they're going to be back in here with us. Could be as soon as this coming week, and I think we wanted to try to share with you some of their performance from here last week. I've never done this exact feature in this program before, so it's we're gonna roll the dice, Joe. What do you think?
I'm here ready. I'm ready for it.
Wow. Wow. Okay, hold the line.
Holding the line. What is our Twitch? Are we getting some Twitch attention? Is anybody watching on Twitch? Oh. Yeah, give me that information.
Gets up and spends more time. She's like, yeah, I've been on the road.
Oh, there we go. I'm seeing something. Wait, is that the current video camera?
Gave an intro that was 3 times as long as the OK song that she played. And I got up and I played the fucking Suicide Gospel. Hey, Jacob. Jacob. Yeah. Remember that time we were listening to pretty good music for your series and I was like, no! Let's watch this!
We were listening to Celine Dion and now we have 30... Is that what's happening? So here's the deal. I don't know how to jump forward in it once we're doing it. Well, I mean, perhaps.
Try turning it off and on again.
Well, it's not even here. Here we go. Here we go.
We could do a segment of Cancel Joe.
I'm about to. Oh no, I'm not. I'm afraid to even inquire about what I brought that up about. Joe has this series of opinions that I swear are so problematic.
We really do need to. We need to figure out a way
that
to
could be its
present
own
them.
show, and if we did that on Patreon, it would be really good.
Yeah, I'd have to put my entire career at stake, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, we should make it a campaign. We should make it 90 days to cancel Joe. And maybe I'll get famous. Famous out of getting canceled.
I'm about to say, like...
Nobody cared until I got canceled. Like Pepe Le Pew did pubes.
The pubes.
Pepe Le Pubes.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back with the defeated county.
I like you just the way you are. Please don't ever learn to play guitar. And please don't end up in the bars. They're gonna take you so far away, take you so far away, but only take you so far. Take you so far away, take you so far away, but only take you so far. Spotlights can make up pretty girls' eyes. Look at guys like me sometimes. But I grew up, girl, just for you. Please don't tell me that you're going to take me so far away, take me so far away, to only take me so far. Take me so far away, take me so far away, to only take me so far. 'Cause I like you just the way you are. Please don't ever learn to play guitar. And please don't end up in the bars. They're gonna take you so far away, take you so far away, to only take you so far. Take you so far away, take you so far away, to only take you so far. Take you so far away, take you so far away, to only take you so far. Take you so far away, take you so far away, to only take you so far. And I like you just the way you are. It's funny playing into silence, but thank you. I know you guys are there, and it's fun.
It is fun.
We just have a couple
It's fun
more.
to play it all in COVID.
Yeah, we're so grateful to be here. Thank you all so much. Gosh, getting to play is wonderful. We actually just have 2 more songs, and I will start to play them. Oh my god, isn't my stage banter so good, guys? We were just talking about how good my stage banter was. I was like, I'm so good at it. And yeah. All right. This song is called Dissecting the Lamb. Catch a falling star and tear it apart. Catch a falling star and tear it apart. Just to see what it looks like in the palm of your hands. Just to know what I feel like in the palm of your hand, dissecting the land. Falls hard in your hand, dissecting the land. Falls hard in your hands. Tell me who asked for this sacrifice. Tell me who asked for this sacrifice. Catch the little lightning bugs and put them in a jar. Catch the little lightning bugs and put them in a jar. But oh, the feeling in the morning when you realize you forgot to poke holes in the lid, dissected the land. Falls hard in your hand, dissecting the land. Falls hard in your hands. Tell me who asked for this sacrifice. 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 Catch a falling star and tear it apart. Good job, Irene. This is Irene Allen.
Thank you.
She is a harmonist.
I'm trying to be
amazonor.
Devin Cahill, who is not here.
Yeah,
We love you, Devin.
We love you, Devin. We love you, Russ and Simon and
Shout
Jeremy
out
too.
to the rest of the band.
We're actually normally part of a 6-piece band. There's a lot of us, and so this is super different for us, and they are super glad to be here doing it.
Yeah, you see what happens when y'all aren't here. So
Yeah. Well, thanks for leaving us, guys. But really, no, we love you. And we're going to play one more song. Thank you so much to Lindsay and to all the staff at NPR for having us on. And, yeah, everybody stay strong. We're not like the most uplifting band, but we want you to be alive and be happy. I just realized I need to tune, so now we have to do awkward stage banter for just like a few more seconds.
This reminds me of a time in our history that you're probably all thinking of right now.
Oh,
The Spanish Civil War.
yes.
That's right.
I feel like a lot of my songs really inspire people to actually think about the War of 1984. Oh, I'm sorry.
I believe
I'm
it
sorry.
was March.
That was not
March
1904. What was the one where American tried to take Canada?
I just watched the
I
South
don't know.
Park movie last night. They did that in that.
There was some war where America that really happened. That was the thing. I'm smart. My band is called The Defeated County. And this song is. Oh, don't forget to not say the curse words in it.
Oh, sorry.
No.
Oh, these curse
Just
words.
in the song. We have to edit some of our songs. Because I tend to say the F word a lot, and I don't know if that's okay here or not. So we're classily editing them out because we're classy.
We hope you'll all think of the F word as we sing.
Yeah. Like, I'll try to like blink hard at you guys when you should be thinking the F word. There must be more than chemicals and science, balancing our diets, counting our carbs, our lines, hoping not to die. Crossing our fingers, our hearts, hoping not to die. Hey, where'd everybody go? Where'd everybody go? Cause I need someone here to tell me there's more than the guessing and the trying, and praying into silence, counting our sins, our lies, hoping not to die. Crossing our fingers, our hearts, hoping not to die. Now where the hell you go? Hey, now where the hell you go? You know I need you here to tell me there's more. 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 chemicals and science.